Bia Mesquita, after so many years of competing in Jiu-Jitsu, and basically a year after your MMA debut, you're already making a UFC debut, especially here in Rio de Janeiro. How special for you? How excited are you to enter the octagon Saturday to compete in front of the biggest audience there is in MMA?
I mean, it could not be better, you know. I feel so happy, of course, to be home, to be doing this debut at home, especially because here in Rio de Janeiro is where my history in fighting started. I started Jiu-Jitsu when I was 5 years old, living here in Rio de Janeiro. So now starting my new journey in the UFC here in Rio is like definitely like very special. And like you said, like it was everything super fast. Like after my debut, my very first fight in MMA, 12 months later, I got the title in LFA. And right after, I got the call to be fighting at the UFC. And when they told me it was going to be in Rio, it was like, what? It's already so special, you know, to achieve the goal to be in the UFC. But being home, fighting in Rio in my debut is definitely like the best thing that could ever happen.
Yeah. There was no surprise when you made the transition from Jiu-Jitsu to MMA that your goal was to be here, was to be in the UFC. But in your best dreams, did you ever expect that it would take you like only a year to get here?
Honestly, we had already a plan, me and my team, of doing about 5 fights to be in the UFC. That was our game since the beginning. But of course, when everything goes right and falls in place, you're like, what, already? Like, really? It is really true. But that was the goal, 5 fights, exactly how it happened. My 5 fights, I got the title at the LFA, bantamweight. And then right after we was expecting to get the call, and it wasn't different. Right after the fight, I got the call and the contract with the UFC, and saying that I was going to be doing my debut in Rio. That was the best part of everything. But even knowing that we had all this plan, when it really comes true, it's like, what? Wow, so fast. Like, thanks God.
Every time we have Jiu-Jitsu legend competing in MMA, especially in Brazil, in Rio, in São Paulo, we have a large crowd from that sport to go there, specific to what I imagine Saturday is going to be a lot of fans from Jiu-Jitsu going there to watch you, especially. And I talked to MMA several times about fighting in Brazil, and when he gets the submission, the crowd, instead of chanting his name, starts chanting Jiu-Jitsu, Jiu-Jitsu, and he says that's more special than saying his name. Are you ready to feel that experience again? Because your only fight in MMA here in Brazil was in a small show,
yes.
Only VIP in attendance. Now you're gonna have like a ton of Jiu-Jitsu fans going there only to watch you.
Yeah, that's gonna be huge and amazing, you know. Of course, fighting for the fans and fighting for my audience, my friends, my family, that's very special. And I can't wait to have that feeling inside the cage, hear them screaming my name, going crazy with the fight. And that's what I'm here for, you know, to give them a show. Like I say in Portuguese, like fogo no parquinho. It's like when you put the fires on, you know, fireworks, fire on the cage. And that's what I'm been training for, and what I want to do on Saturday. It's to have the fans have a nice, good time. Nobody's there to watch boring fights, you know. And of course, that's not going to be never what I'm going to give to the public, to the audience, and especially for my fans from here in Rio. People that like love Jiu-Jitsu, that's like, Jiu-Jitsu was one of the biggest martial arts like that we practicing in Brazil. So I think that's going to be huge. I have a lot of friends and fans that are going to be there. And what I hear is that it was one of the latest, is one of the selling tickets that went faster in the history. So I was like, oh, what? And I'm going to be there, you know? So that's very special, and I'm very happy. I can't wait to have that feeling of the public going crazy, everybody screaming, and have that fire on me together with them.
Yeah.
Vou deixar esfriar pouquinho.
And you of course you have 5 fights, and now you're entering the UFC, but you train with all the best in ATT. Do you feel like you're gonna take your time to adjust to get used to fighting at a higher level in the UFC, or based on your training, what you do in the gym, you know that you're already prepared to face the best in the world.
Yeah, no, I'm ready. I've been ready, I think, in my whole life. I've been getting ready for that moment. And of course, like training at the best gym with a lot of champions around me, that make me ready every day. Every single day when I go to the gym, I get ready. I get prepared to be there, to get the title sometime soon. And of course, I know I'm just getting in the UFC. I'm arriving and I have my, like we say in Portuguese, I don't know if they're making sense in English, but I have my feet on the floor. So I'm going step by step, but I know my potential. I know what I'm coming for. And of course, it's going to be for the title one day, but one step at a time. And training with the best around me, it makes me ready every single day. So I don't think anything can surprise me. I already fought in the biggest stages of like grappling, jiu-jitsu, and I'm ready to do the same in MMA.
And what are your thoughts on Irina as an opponent style-wise?
I think the game's gonna match pretty good. I thought her other fights, she accepted the grappling, what I don't think she's gonna do with me, but you know, when somebody's used to grapple and she does it all the time, she's even have a leg lock submission. So I think it's gonna be very hard for her to avoid this during all 15 minutes, 3 rounds. So at some point I'm gonna be able to get on my game plan and hopefully get the submission, of course.
Yeah. And given your history in Jiu-Jitsu, your legendary status, you entered the UFC on a different level compared to other fighters that just compared to other 5-0 fighters that are just starting MMA. Do you think that, given that this factor and the factor that the division is a bit shallow, do you think that you're maybe 2 or 3 wins away from a title shot already?
I think so, but everything is it was really tell after my debut, after I put my game on, my show, and show the public not just the fighting style, but also like the happiness I put in the cage, the show in general. You know, it's not going there and winning. That's not everything. Everything that we do during the fight week before, being able to be happy with the fans and going there, smile, give a good interview. I think it's a whole combo that we need. And I feel like I have that ready to go. And of course, that's gonna put me another level to get closer to being the ranking soon, climbing up all the way to the title.
Yeah. The UFC champion right now trains with you, Kayla Harrison, ATT. How is that relationship with her, and how does she help you get to this level? Of course, if you're training with the best, fighting someone else is gonna be a little easier.
I hope so. That's our goal, right? But it's amazing. Kayla is such a good heart, a good person, and we help each other. We teammates, and that's what we do. Like we help each other to get better in our better versions. And of course, she's the champion right now, and one day I want to be at her place. But we don't bring that as a rival at the gym. We help each other every day. I had helped her in her other camp since I got at ATT, and she also helped me. So we exchange a lot of knowledge, and I think that's what champions does. You know, like we teammates, and we help each other to get better and beat the other girls. So I know that she's the one that has the title right now, but we don't know the future. If I have to face her and fight her one day, we're gonna see. But right now, we just very happy to have each other to build up and to be the best of these divisions together.
You both had long careers in grappling, her with the judo and the Olympics, and you in jiu-jitsu, like dozens and hundreds of fights in grappling matches. But she's had a longer career in MMA, and now she's actually expected to fight Amanda Nunes. Some people think that this fight, if she wins, that's it for her. She's going to retire because there's no one else left for her to fight. Do you foresee her with a longer future, or do you also believe that if she beats Amanda Nunes, it's done? It doesn't make sense for her to stick around and find someone that isn't as big as her in terms of legacy?
I think for her, of course, this fight with Amanda is going to be one of her biggest goal in her career. But I don't think she's done yet. Kayla has such a big fire inside her that she goes every day to train, and that's like very inspiring because as you told, like she is already like Olympic champion. She won PFL title twice. She now is the UFC champion, but she's still there every day chasing her biggest version and best version every single day. And fighting Amanda is gonna be one of her goals, but I don't think she's gonna be done yet. I hear that she wanna fight at the White House too, so for sure, another fight. And what I think is she's gonna try to get back to the weight division at the 145 at the UFC, and I hope she can make it because it's just so good when we see the women opening a lot of doors for other girls that are coming up, and I think she has that potential, and I'm really hoping that she can do that. Maybe open again the 145 division, move up, and leave the 135 for me, and then like this we can both be champions. But I don't think she's gonna retire yet. She has a lot of fire inside her, and I'm very excited with this next fight coming up against Amanda because I think it's gonna be a really good show for all the fans and the public and me as a teammate and a fighter fan. I think that's going to be really incredible and amazing.
Was Amanda still there when you started training at ATT, or has she already left?
No, she had already left. Amanda had already left when I moved to ATT. So I don't know much about like her training over there when she was there. But I know she's a big exponent in the sport. You know, she opened a lot of doors. She's the only woman that has 2 titles, 135 and 145. So she made her history, and nothing's gonna change. Doesn't matter what's gonna happen on this next fight. I'm happy that she's gonna come back because the fans miss watching her fight, you know. But her history is made. Her name is there forever, and I'm very glad that she opened out the doors that I'm taking advantage right now.
Yeah. And just a final one, these main events in UFC Rio, Matheus Gamrot is fighting Charles Oliveira. He trained with you at ATT, right? What is your thought on this matchup? Because Gamrot has that grappling style. Charles Oliveira, we don't even have to comment on his grappling or his ground game. How do you see this clash of styles of his wrestling with this pressure and Charles Oliveira like always creativity with his moves on the ground?
Yeah, I think that's going to be an amazing fight, even knowing that it was only 2 weeks before the event announcement. But I think they both going to be ready with their life experience, you know. My heart is divided with a teammate and one of the biggest names of the martial arts. One, Charles, I'm like a big fan of him, of everything he did in the MMA, especially being a grappler, you know, all that submissions that he made us go crazy during this whole career. But Guilherme is also ready to go because his wrestling is like on point, and it's one of the best in the division. So I'm, as a grappler fan, I'm really excited with this fight. This matchup, I think, was the best that could happen in this last minute call because Charles has the submissions attempts that like can come like right away, but Gamrot has a really good like wrestling style that avoids that grappling game, you know, that submission game. But as a fan of grappling, I think that couldn't be better a matchup for me in my debut to watch that main event. It's amazing, and it's funny because I was speaking to Gamrot, and his first time in Brazil, he was to fight an ADCC event, and now he's back to fight a UFC like main event. So I was like, man, that's like really nice to know that the history about him, because it matches a lot with my history. And I'm like, man, that's good, that's incredible. That's not nice to hear about that. And of course, Charlie is like one of the biggest names that we ever had in the MMA history in Rio, in Brazil. And I think he's gonna bring all the fans to watch us on Saturday night, and they both gonna bring an amazing show. I can't cheer for any of the sides. My heart is finally like divided in two, but I'm excited as a fan to watch them, and the one that takes the victory is gonna be amazing anyways for all the fans, and especially for the grappling world and views of fans that are gonna be able to watch that fight.